Czech Republic is not the country where you go to retire. Czech Republic is the country you go to struggle and cry. Like that's my experience. So my favorite email I ever receive from clients, from potential clients, is that they want to get a golden visa or they want to get like a retirement visa because they heard that it's so easy to get a retirement visa in the Czech Republic. I don't know where they're getting this information from, but there is no such thing as a retirement visa. Remember that bitches get snitches. So
Not sure if that's how it's said.
yeah.
Bitches get...
Oh, no, wait, no. Snitches get stitches.
Bitches get snitches. Don't ever say to Czechs that we are Eastern Europe.
I actually heard that this is the main one reason for denial when you say on the interview that Prague is Eastern Europe.
Yes. Let's maybe brainstorm and see what's still cheap here. Probably beer, yeah. This is my furious face.
This is the furious face. Like, I'm so scared of him right now. Like, this is such a... Yeah, don't fuck with the system. We already talked about it last time when we were talking about marriages and getting married for the visa and stuff. Yep. That's exactly what we talked about. So don't fuck with the system, please.
And if you haven't heard the previous episode, go download it, listen to it, watch it. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was very heated. Well, Jan, you can say whatever you want, but Prague is still the most beautiful Eastern European city.
Prague is not freaking Eastern Europe.
Well, we can talk about that today. Well, welcome back to the Borderline Czech. It's a podcast when we talk about the castles, the visa in 3 easy steps, about the cheap beer, but most importantly, that none of that is true. I'm Daria. I'm an immigration expert, a psychologist, and a co-founder of MoveToPrague Relocation Experts. And alongside me is Jan, who is also a co-founder of the same company, Czech, a proud Czech, and an internal devil's advocate. We do not always agree, and that's kind of our thing. So if you're planning to move here, already live here, or just love hearing foreigners and Czech people fight, you're in the right place. All right, so today we'll be talking about the biggest myths about moving to Prague, about living in the Czech Republic, and we're going to be debunking them. Do you want to start with some fresh statistics?
I don't have any, because there are statistics from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs about denied applications for short-term visas. But for long-term visas, there are no publicly available statistics. You can request them from the Ministry of the Interior, and they have to share it based on the Free Access to Information Act, but they're not anywhere accessible.
And do you think they actually share it?
Yeah, they have to. I've seen some files requested and actually shared, but from 2009 or 2012, the newest I was able to find. So that's nowhere close to being
maybe no one is
relevant
interested.
now.
Maybe no one is interested how many visas got rejected.
Probably. But I think it's more like the ministry doesn't want people to know. No, but the thing is that even if there was one number, 5% of applications are rejected or 27, whatever, that would not really be representative at all, because that very much depends on your nationality. Yes, the Czech immigration system is very...
I like how you looked at me very it pretty much depends on your nationality. And you looked at me.
Well, it was nothing personal. But that's the truth. If you're an Indian, your chances of getting the visa denied are way higher than if you're an American. That's just how it is. And also depends on the visa type. Because some applications are kind of easy-ish to get approved, if you can say that in Czech immigration. Some of them are way more complicated. So
I would generally say that getting a Czech visa is actually pretty complicated. It's one of the hardest countries to move to. And you really have to show your importance and how much you're going to contribute to the Czech system, but not with money. That's important. They don't want to hear about how much money you have, but they want to see how you'll contribute with your charming personality to the Czech system.
That's true. And I think it kind of makes sense. I believe we touched that topic in some of the previous episodes, and we will talk about it more in the next ones. But also, Czech Republic is a pretty small country. It's like 10 million people. And as of now, over 1 million foreigners live here. So that's like 10% of the population. And the system is not really ready for that yet, like in terms of English and like taking care of foreigners living here. So taking it slow. Yeah, that's the ministry's approach.
So what's like the reasons people get rejected? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I would say there are three main reasons. And the biggest one being the purpose of your stay. Because every visa must have some official purpose of your stay, like a reason for you to be here. And that's the easiest kind of way to deny your visa application if the ministry wants to do that. So for students, for example, they often question if they really want to study here or if they're just getting the student visa because it's kind of easy compared to other types of visas, and if they actually don't want to study, which, to be fair, is often the case with some nationalities. Similarly for the business visa, if you're an English teacher, that's pretty straightforward and easy. But if you have a different business plan, then you really need to justify why you need to be in the Czech Republic. So that's, I would say, the most common reason for denial and the easiest one. Then also money in different like variations of that. So often what I've seen is that people, for example, because for different visa types, you need to have different amounts of money in your bank account, or you need to show like monthly income. And for example, for student visas, you need to have like equivalent to 100,000 Czech crowns in your account. And often people don't have it. So they just ask someone to deposit the money to their account. They get the statement for the visa application that they have enough money, and then they return it back to that person who borrowed the money. And then if the ministry finds out about that, if they request some bank statement for the last 3 months or something, and they see that this happened, then it's a very simple reason to deny the application, because it kind of proves that you didn't have the money or you don't have the money. So that's the second one. And third, of course, like if something is not correct with the documents, if you submit incomplete application or some of the documents are fake or like just not perfect.
Yeah, I remember this like crazy, stories that we get so many times about specifically student visas and student visas getting denied. So like for me, like that part absolutely makes no sense and is really disgraceful. I had this client, I believe she is from Nigeria, maybe she's from Kenya. I'm sorry if I don't misremember that. And she wanted to study PhD here. She was already a professor. She was already working in the school, university. And they denied her actually 2 times because they did interview with her and she didn't know like all the subjects she's going to study. She didn't know all the professor's name, literally. She didn't know the exact plan of your studies and how many points you will get for each, how many credits you will get for each subject. And like, sorry, like if you ask a Czech person the same questions, nobody will fucking know. Like nobody knows this stuff. So why do they request a foreigner to know all of this if you cannot have the same from a Czech student? Like who knows how many credits you have to have? Who knows the names of all their professors before you even start the university? And this is the story that we actually got so many times. It's like, it's a pretty standard procedure. And by that, they argument it as is like they want to trick the Czech system, or they want to trick the European system by just getting into the Schengen area. By that, I feel like there's like much easier way to get into Schengen area rather than paying for accommodation in advance for a year, paying for like your studies for a year. I feel like there are like easier ways to get into Europe, but that's just me. I don't know.
Well, I also, like, on the other hand, I've seen people who really try to abuse the system, that really like got the student visa because it was easier, for example, than getting an employee card and finding a job and all that. And they didn't really want to study and came here just because they couldn't get a job. And then if the ministry sees this happening on regular basis in like higher amounts of like cases, then they have to react to that, and they have to kind of make the system more complicated for everyone, and that obviously then hurts also the students who are like genuine and who wants to come here and who really want to study for the sake of studies here because the education is good or whatever is the motivation. So unfortunately, when people abuse the system, that destroys the whole system for everyone else who is maybe like genuine about the studies.
Yeah, don't fuck with the system. We already talked about it last time when we were talking about marriages and getting married for the visa and stuff. That's exactly what we talked about. So don't fuck with the system, please.
And if you haven't heard the previous episode, go download it, listen to it, watch it. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was very heated. Right. What else?
Some myths about the visa processes.
Could
Maybe
be.
what kind of visas we have and we actually don't have.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good one. Yeah. Because my favorite email I ever receive from clients, from potential clients, is that they want to get a golden visa or they want to get like a retirement visa because they heard that it's so easy to get a retirement visa in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they're getting this information from.
Yeah.
But there is no such thing as a retirement visa.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of countries do have it. I think Portugal either has it or used to have it. And maybe some other like chill Southern Europe countries, they have like a retirement visa where basically if you are a wealthy North American person and you show that you have enough money and that you're retired, that you would come to Europe and just spend your money here and just chill and drink vino and and having the best time of your life. But that's not the case in Czech Republic, because to the Czech Republic you come to struggle.
Well, to be fair, who would like to retire in the Czech Republic with no sun?
Exactly. Yeah. Czech Republic
no smiling and stuff. So
Czech Republic is not the country where you go to retire. Czech Republic is the country you go to struggle and cry. Like that's my experience. So if that's your vibe, come to Czech Republic to struggle and cry. Yeah, that's great.
And then it will be a fun retirement.
Yeah. Just have like the symbol. If you had a very fun life before, I feel like like if you had fun and parties all life, and you're like, I feel like there's something like a little suffering.
Haven't tried yet.
A little suffering missing from my life. Then you come to Czech Republic, but apply for a different type of visa because there is no retirement visa.
Yeah. But one topic I will probably not go deeper into that because that would be like an episode on its own. But I've just had a consultation like 3 weeks ago with an American lady, like 70 years old, something like that, already retired. And she came here now to apply specifically for the retirement visa because a visa agent told her that that's the best way. So she spoke with her, she said like a year ago, and she said, yeah, of course, the retirement visa is here, so just come, apply, that's easy. So she spent like a year of preparations, and then she came here using 90 days that, okay, I'm ready to apply, and that previous person stopped replying. So she contacted us, and I told her like, yeah, sorry. So sorry to break it up to you, but there's no retirement visa in the Czech Republic. And then like we had a nice consultation and everything, but then she left. And she wrote me an email that she could hold her tears until she entered the elevator.
Aww.
And then it broke. So I crushed her dreams. That's what I do.
That's what you do. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Sorry, guys.
That's what you do. Yes, but
the point is there is no retirement visa. Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, I have the same story, very similar ones that I had a couple from the US already of retired age, and they also talked with someone else and they actually tried to apply for retire. I don't know what the fuck they tried to apply for, but apparently they did apply for something. They called it a retirement visa. They already were in Czech Republic. They got denied because there was no such thing as retirement visa. And they stayed. And they've been here over like, I don't know, at least like it was before COVID. So it was at least, let's say 6 years. and they've been here illegally since then.
But legal disclaimer, we definitely don't remember their names. We don't know where they live, and we have no way of contacting them.
Also, remember that bitches get snitches. So
Not sure if that's how it's said.
yeah.
Bitches get...
Oh, no, wait, no. Snitches get stitches.
Bitches get snitches. Okay.
Yeah, snitches. No, snitches get stitches.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know the amount of people who call us and they think that we are like our we don't have a landline because hello, it's 2025. But how many people call us to our customer line and report illegal foreigners? Like they feel like we're like a foreign police or Department of Ministry of Interior. So we have received messengers saying there is a foreigner living in my apartment building and I know he's illegal, or they call us and I was no, don't snitch because bitches get snitches.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
So what else do we...
Jan got very nervous right now. I don't know what he does out of work.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe he just goes and reports illegal clients. We don't have illegal clients, but maybe he's I don't know. I got a little messed up in this whole storyline.
I look for illegals and then we play chess together.
That's your kink.
Yes.
Okay.
It's what I do in my free time.
Okay.
Okay.
We listen and we don't judge.
Okay. So, next topic. Maybe one more thing or two more things about this, what does exist and what doesn't exist. Or maybe one more thing in general, that even though Czech Republic is an EU country, it doesn't mean that all the countries in the EU have the same visa rules. So sometimes people get in touch with us saying, hey, okay, I can apply in the Czech Republic, right? Because it's possible in some countries that you can just go there legally somehow. So either the visa-free stay or a short-term visa, and then you can submit some long-term application at the territory of the country. But Czech Republic does not allow that for 99% of applications. There are cases when you can do it, like the partnership visa or a blue card if you're transferring it from some other EU country. But other than that, most applications must go through a Czech embassy. So that's another thing that people often bring up, or think that they could apply inside of the Czech Republic. But for most cases, that's not true. And another thing is the job seeker visa or residence permit, because we do have it in the Czech Republic, but it works in a different way than in other countries. Because in some other countries, the job seeker visa is there for you to come to the country and look for employment. Because finding employment if you're in your home country might be kind of difficult. But the Czech Republic does not work this way. You can get the job seeker visa in the Czech Republic, but only if you successfully finished Czech university. So when you finish university, then you can get 9 months of a job seeker, actually residence permit, and you can either look for a job and switch to an employee card, or you can start your own business and switch to a business residence permit. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but it's also important to know that, even though it's Schengen area and European Union, still every country operates differently. So maybe if you have experience or you heard that something is happening in Germany in a certain way or in Italy, it doesn't happen the same way in Czech Republic. There are two types of legal systems in Czech Republic. One is a Czech one, another one is European one. Yep. So it really depends which jurisdictions it falls under, and sometimes you really need the help of a professional to figure it out. But yeah, and also another thing I wanted to mention is that what I hear a lot from clients is that they ask us, or they live here and they want to move to some other European country, and they ask me, will I be able to move to Italy and apply for the same thing? Or if I already have permanent residence in Czech Republic, can I just move somewhere else? And my answer always is check it with the other side, with the receiving side. Because it doesn't really matter what it doesn't really matter what laws the Czech Republic has. It really depends on what laws on immigration the other country has. So in case you decide to also move out of Czech Republic, if you're tired of suffering and crying, then then just ask the other side. Ask like find an agent there or lawyer there and ask them like, okay, I have this card, I have this residency permit, I live this amount of years in the Czech Republic. What are my options?
Yep, completely agree. I wanted to mention
that was
something with
rare.
that. Yeah. Was it the first time?
Maybe,
ever
maybe.
that I completely agreed with you. I wanted to say something about it as well, but I cannot remember. Yeah, okay. There are 2 dimensions to that as well, like 2 other dimensions. One is that there are plenty of rules, like official rules, and that might potentially even allow you to work in other EU country, all that, but no one knows about them. Also, so if you move to the country and there might actually be a way for you to work there, but the people you will meet will not even be aware of it. But definitely it's always best to speak with someone on the receiving end who knows what they are doing.
Okay. We also collected some of the myths that we hear daily. We collected them here so we can debug them. So I have them written out here.
Let's do that.
Let's debug. Okay, so Prague is in Eastern Europe, so it must be cheap and easy. And now, guys, prepare for the shitstorm because I just called Prague Eastern Europe or Czech Republic Eastern Europe.
You get a free pass because I know you're just like messing with me, but don't ever say to Czechs that we are Eastern Europe.
I actually heard that this is the main one reason for denial when you say on the interview that Prague is Eastern Europe.
Yes, and the main reason for beatings as well. Now, I think it's getting better, actually. But of course, Prague and the Czech Republic is the heart of Europe, and it's potentially heart of the whole universe as well. So be careful with that.
Where is the main argument I always hear from Czech people? That did you know that Vienna is actually more Eastern than Prague?
But it's completely true as well. Yeah.
This is the main one argument I hear all the time. That if you look at the map, Vienna is actually much more Eastern than Prague.
True. And that's also why we broke up with Slovakia. So we can be actually the Central Europe and not Eastern. But whatever.
Anyway, so like don't like take an advice from an immigrant. Don't call Prague Eastern Europe. And yeah, don't let anyone do that in the presence of Czech people.
Yeah. But like getting real now, Prague is not a cheap city anymore. From all the different perspectives, let's maybe brainstorm and see what's still cheap here. Probably beer, yeah. If you live in Žižkov, like in Prague 3 somewhere, like then probably yes.
Yeah.
But housing definitely not. Groceries, meh.
Yeah, like in general, like if you come as a tourist, especially from like Western country or US, it can seem very cheap for you because the food will look cheap for you in the restaurants, the booze, the partying, the entrances, the alcohol, the beer. It will be cheap for you, but it's very different if you live here. And if you compare, of course, like Czech salaries with Czech prices, because the prices increased. First, they increased during COVID, and then they increased since the war started so much. So now, if you compare the salaries and the prices, it's actually the prices for living and for groceries are very similar to German prices, but the salaries are nothing.
Almost similar as well.
Almost, yeah.
Just like 100% difference or something.
Yeah. That's no biggie. Yeah. So that's still like, I mean, we try to also tell the people because I feel like when you find like some old articles somewhere online and you see like the rent prices are quite low. It's no longer the case. Actually, we wrote a very nice article about that. So if you go to our blog, on our website, we have a very nice blog.
Yep.
It's very similar to what we're talking right now here, but just more structured and less swearing like you. And we wrote a very nice article about the rent prices and the grocery prices and everything.
Yeah, so it was written in May. So if you go to the blog section and just go to scroll down to May, then there is this article breaking down all the different costs you should count with when you're moving here, and what salaries you should be looking at to get if you want to live somehow comfortably in Prague.
But again, nobody moves to Prague to thrive. Everybody moves to
suffer. We could make it a new slogan of this podcast.
Maybe, yeah. Suffer in the Czech Republic.
So the next thing is that's the next myth. I don't know, but everyone speaks English.
Or actually, I hear the other one that nobody speaks English.
Yeah,
it's either or.
Yeah,
and I feel like none of them is entirely true, because you need to distinguish Prague and the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
In Prague, I feel like I love Czech people that when you're trying to speak, not me, yeah, but you're a tourist or you're a foreigner, not me. And when you're trying to speak with them in English, they first will be like, no, I don't speak Czech. Oh, sorry. No, I don't speak English. No, my English is not good. But then if you give them a little chance, they'll just go fluent English on you. They will just go they will go fluent English on you. And they will do everything not to do that and do everything to say, no, my English is bad. And then they just speak fluently with you. So I feel like it's a very, very Czech thing to do. Or I don't know, or at least in Prague.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, it's also kind of important, why you are moving here and for how long. Because if you are moving here just for a year to experience Europe and have Prague as your base, but travel a lot and enjoy the cheap beer and visit as much as you can, I think English is completely fine, and you can get by in Prague. You don't really need to speak any Czech at all, and basically compared to 10 years ago, that's not really comparable. It's not comparable, but majority of restaurants and private stores, shops and everything, people speak English there, so you will definitely be fine with English. But if you plan on kind of actually integrating into the society and living here for a long time, 5 years longer, then having Czech or speaking Czech will definitely help you integrate better. Because if you only speak English, then you stay in the bubble and you can speak with Czechs, but it's still it's not the same as if you speak Czech.
That is such a Czech thing to say also.
Why?
I don't know. We are in 2025 and I'm okay, for full disclosure, I speak very good Czech. And also for people who are listening for the first episode or something, I'm Russian, but I came here 15 years ago. I started speaking Czech very fast, and I feel quite good.
Yep.
But it is still such a Czech thing to say. Why do you need Czech to integrate more? Integrate with whom? What? Tell me.
I actually have a couple good points for that.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
Okay.
It's one thing we might touch it as well later today, or doesn't matter. But for example, with finding it might be here. Let me see if we have it here. Yeah, it was one of the questions from listeners. Can I say that right away? Yeah. So one of the questions, thank you. Thank you, madam. One of the questions, we usually at the end of the podcast, we do Q&As we got from you and we answer them. So one of the questions for today is, do Czech landlords really hate renting to foreigners, or am I just annoying? So it's not about me. I am annoying, of course, but this is from the public.
Please see that I said nothing the whole time. I was silent the whole time.
Yeah. Anyway, so then I also see it on the internet, people saying, yeah, Czech landlords are trying to rip off foreigners, and foreigners pay more for accommodation because they're foreigners, all that. But in my opinion, it's not really that. I don't really see landlords. Of course, there are bad landlords that will try to rip you out just because you're a foreigner, or just because you want to rent the apartment. You don't need to be necessarily foreigner. There are just some bad landlords. But I don't see it as the majority of cases. But the thing is that if you're moving here and you're looking for accommodation, one thing is that you are usually under like time pressure. So you don't really have much time to choose. You don't want to pay hotel for 3 months. So you want to or you also need to have the accommodation for your visa application. So you don't really have that much time. And if you had more time, you could actually get better offers, for example, from the perspective of the payments and everything. And not exactly related to Czech, but it's one of the points. But the second thing is that often how people find accommodation is through friends, through colleagues, through recommendation. They know if you have 50 friends and 50 colleagues, it's 100 people. So chances are some of them know about apartments that are for rent at the moment when you're looking for it, or they can recommend someone, they know someone. So the bigger the network is, the better for you. And the better options, for example, from the perspective of the accommodation, the better options you can get. If you come here, you don't know anyone, and you only know the 2 biggest websites to look for accommodation, then of course your chances are limited. And also if you don't speak Czech, landlords will often not want you as their tenant. And that's not because you're a foreigner, but because they don't want to deal with translating the contracts to English. They maybe are not really confident in English, or they don't want to deal with that. So in case there are any trouble with you, you want something to get repaired or something, they don't want to deal with having to translate it and all that. So they will prefer Czechs just because it's easier. So I mean, from these kind of perspectives, if you speak Czech, then you will get more options from all these different perspectives. Another thing is that also some things are not really translated into Czech, into English from Czech. I mean, theater plays or some historical.
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about Jara Zimmerman. Right
yes,
now.
partially,
I know
yes.
exactly what you're going with this thought.
That's, yes.
So, pause. So
Okay.
if you know, pause this podcast, pause it right now. If you know who Jara Zimmerman is, please drop it in the comments. We'll give you can stop it now, and now we'll continue. Because Jara Zimmerman he won the popularity vote on the biggest Czech.
Yep.
Maybe 10 years ago, something like this,
Yep.
right? So there was a list of people, maybe 100 Czech people.
Yeah,
and
presidents and stuff.
Yeah, all the famous, people. And Czech people were choosing who is the biggest Czech.
Mm-hmm.
And Jara Zimmerman won.
Yep. Rightfully so.
Right, yeah, of course. And the spiciest detail about that is that Jara Zimmerman is a fictional character. Jara Zimmerman never lived. He has statues all over Prague. He has theater named after him. But Jara Zimmerman never existed. He's just a fake character. And that's everything you need to know about Czech people.
Yeah. No, so that's exactly my point. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And why you're so angry about that is that there is the theater of Jara Zimmerman. Mm-hmm. And they play the same shows all the time. They're good. They're actually pretty funny. But then they translated them into English, and they started also showing them in English, and Jan lost his fucking shit. I swear, I shit you not. He was furious. How can you translate, okay, as furious as you can see him right now, okay?
Yeah.
Jan has not a big...
This is my furious face.
This is the furious face. I'm so scared of him right now. This is such a... So he was furious, almost as furious as he is right now. Okay, continue.
No, that was the whole thing. That it's just, if you don't speak Czech, you're just missing out some context and some, yeah.
Do you miss out though?
That's a correct question. Yes. If there is something you should really experience from this perspective, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
you could talk to grannies and listen to their stories.
But you have to have a certain level of Czech also to understand all this. If you of course, if you read Kafka, or watch Jara Zimmerman, you have to have a very good level of Czech. Something that you can achieve by years and years and years living here.
That's true.
So I feel it's not really the reason to learn it, but if you already know Czech on such a level, definitely watch it and definitely read, because Prague is very Kafkaesque type of suffering.
Yep.
And you can definitely learn more about Czech people through that, but you really have to have like a certain amount of knowledge.
But Daria, you could tell us something about Czech people, because that was one of the topics as well, that Czechs are cold. And so I think you have like a description for Czech people. So
yeah, there's a description. There's a description I stole from my dear friends and clients, one of the first clients I ever had. And I still remember it till this date, and I feel like it describes Czech people perfectly. So they said that Americans are like peaches, like a fruit, a peach. They are soft on the outside and they are hard like a pit on the inside. That they're very, talkative and very sweet, and they will talk to you and social and like get to know you and stuff. But as soon as you get down to the core, they actually really, they close up and they're very hard to get to.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it like shit gets real. While Czech people are like coconuts. They're very hard on outside and they're very soft on inside.
Mm-hmm.
Or
empty.
Or empty. No, let's say they're just...
Depends on the Czech.
Depends on Czech, yes. But let's say they are soft on the inside. So it's very hard to get to Czech people. Czech people will not sweet talk with you. They will not chatter with you. They will not like la 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 with you. It's very hard to get to know a Czech person. But once you do, they actually can be soft or empty. We will discover it. Not every coconut is the first choice coconut, right? So some of them are a little younger. Some of them are a little older. Some of them still have some juice inside of them, and some don't. But the point of my narrative is that they're very hard to like get inside. But then whatever you discover on the inside,
that's real.
It's a surprise and it's real, yes. Yeah. So that's my description of Czech people.
Anything else you would like to add?
Like there's so much I could add. There's so much I could add. But I will not. For the purposes of this relationship, I will not.
Okay. So if you want to get any spicy details about what Daria thinks about Czechs, contact her directly.
You can follow my OnlyFans where I just talk shit about Czech people.
Wow, that's actually a good idea.
A good idea. Okay. For just $25 a month, I can talk shit about Czech people.
And funny fact, there are also some Czech subscribers to you.
Well, the funniest fact is that mostly are Czech people.
Okay, moving on.
Okay. So what's the next myth that we collected?
It's all beer and fun.
I mean, there is a lot of beer, not so much fun, I would say.
Well, again, it also depends. Like if you come here, as I mentioned before, if you come here just for a year, it's one thing and you can completely afford to just like have fun and beer. If you plan on staying long term, then you need to be a bit more cautious about things and like how to deal with your visa in a way. Because if you get here just for a year, doesn't matter what kind of visa you get, doesn't matter if you like behave or not, because then after a year you leave and you're fine. But if you want to stay longer, you need to be a bit more cautious about what you do and that you don't break any like stupid laws or obligations you have, so you don't get deported and stuff like that. Plus also then the salaries start becoming a pretty important point. So if you want to have fun and beer sustainably, you also need to have like a certain level of income. So that's another perspective. So it can be.
Or just find someone who has a sustainable income to pay for your fun and beer.
And we've covered this in the previous episode.
That's true.
So check it out, like how to find a Czech wife and Czech sugar mama or sugar daddy. Yeah.
Okay, it's a beer mama.
Beer mama.
It's not a sugar.
True.
Mama.
True.
A beer daddy.
Beer daddy. Yeah, there's a lot of them in the Czech Republic.
Oh, there's a lot of beer daddies in the Czech Republic.
Okay.
Okay. So next one we have that you can just find a job and get a visa. I mean, you can find a job, but then you have to collect the rest of the documents and well, we actually discussed it in the very beginning.
Yeah. This very much depends on where are you from. As I mentioned in the beginning, that's the system in the Czech Republic, the immigration system. I don't want to say it's racist because it's not like based on the race, but based on your nationality.
It's just based on hatred.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Pretty
like
much.
just purely hatred.
Yeah, just say if you're an American, sign in a job in the Czech Republic, get in a visa based on that, will be relatively kind of straightforward as much as the Czech system allows. If you're an Indian, the chances that you will ever get to the Czech Republic to work are like very close to zero.
And there's nothing racist about.
Nothing really. Like, yeah, so it very much depends because in India, for example, what we see often, like every day basically someone asks us, okay, guys, I got a work permit and is it real or fake, or can I get a visa based on that? Problem is that even if you get a job offer in the Czech Republic, you will most likely never apply for an employee card, which is employment type of residence permit in India, because there are quotas, how many people can apply yearly, and the quota is 0. So 0 people can yearly apply for an employee card if they... It's a bit more complicated, but simplified version. So even if you have all the documents, you will never be able to use them. So very much depends on your nationality.
Alrighty.
Yeah. What next?
What next? That permanent residency and citizenship are automatic after a few years. This was like this painful to read.
So please start.
Yeah, nothing is
express
automatic.
Express your pain.
Nothing is automatic in this country. I feel like this is a very hateful episode. Like, I would like to publicly say that I'm very happy to be here and I'm very grateful.
Of course.
But also everything comes with a price. So some countries, again...
$29 a month. Anyway. Sorry.
So, Jan is just jealous.
Yeah.
That's it. Jan is just jealous that I have a business concept.
Yeah, because to my OnlyFans only...
OnlyFans.
Only... no, I wanted to say that only ferrets subscribe, and they usually don't have valid credit cards, so yeah, I'm a bit jealous. Anyway, you were saying permanent residency?
Permanent residency and citizenship. Where do you get them ferrets from?
I wish I knew. I could target better. Ooh.
Permanent residency and citizenship doesn't come automatically.
True.
Yeah. So you have to... you have to work for it. If you want to get permanent residency or citizenship, you have to really work on it. So citizenship, for example, you have to wait 10 years till you even can apply for the citizenship. And then you have to really prove that you'll be a part of this society and that you will contribute to it, and you've already been contributing to it.
That you're integrated.
Like, do you know what they mean by integrated? They mean that you go to Sokolovna and work out, or that you're part of like a football club or something. Like, that's integrated for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
best things to do.
Yeah, like potato, tomato. So you really have to like work on it. You really have to be like to collect so many documents to show your income, to show that you're a part of this beautiful society, blah, blah, blah. And then it will take them ages to approve it. So they're very protective. Czech people are very protective of their borders and their society.
Yep. I agree. There are faster ways to permanent residency, like if you marry a Czech citizen, for example. But there are also longer ways. If you come here as a student, it can take up to 10 years to get even the permanent residency. So it's definitely not like you can come here and immediately get a permanent residency. You can do it if you're a child of someone who has a permanent residency, then you can get it right away. But other than that, if you're an adult, then you have to spend here X amount of years, depending on the purpose of your stay, before you can even apply. Not saying even get it approved.
But in Argentina, for example, you get citizenship after 2 years of living there.
Ooh.
You get an Estonian passport in just 2 years of living there.
How do you know?
I don't know. I'm just a Russian immigrant.
Okay.
I have to know. I have to stay in the loop.
You know your
I have to stay in the loop of
Okay.
like events and everything. You know.
Okay. That's fair. That's actually mature.
So yeah, and here like it's 10 years, and it's not even like it's not even promised that you're gonna get it.
Yep.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Okay, so the biggest myth in the Czech Republic, in my opinion, is that the Czech immigration sticks to the law. And
How dare them think that? How dare people think that Czech immigration stick to a law?
Yeah, that's so naive.
Right, so rude of them.
No, but like especially this part about approval times, how long it takes to get your visa approved and all that, because we often get questions like, okay, the legal deadline for approving my visa is 60 days. It's now 61 days. What's going on?
My God.
Like, what's wrong? Is my application going to be denied? And like, man, probably they have just started like checking your application. So just give them a couple more.
If I got $1 every time somebody says, it's been 61 days since I filed my application, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. That's yeah. No, that's just it. Because sometimes they make the decision very swiftly. We've had clients approved for various types of visas in 10 days, in 2 weeks. So that can happen, but it also takes the ministry 6 months to get approved something that should take 60 days. It can take like 2 years to get approved something that should take 90 days. So, of course, those are like specific cases where there might be some complications, some additional documents requested, all that. But the official timelines you see online or in the law, they're just kind of to give you an idea if it takes like a month or a year, but it's definitely not something you should stick to. And also there is not really much you can do about it. If the ministry should take 60 days, but they've been taking 100 days, you can send them a letter politely asking them to speed up. Or you can also send them a complaint, which actually is a pretty strong thing to do legally. And they have to react to that and they have to like take steps. But the steps can be that after 30 days, they react and tell the ministry to make the decision within 60 days. So it's not like that you send this letter and like in 2 weeks you have your decision. It can happen potentially if they just forgot about your file and it was sitting somewhere on a shelf and no one was really attending to it. But if they actually had maybe some reason to wait for something, then it does not really change much. So that's, in my opinion, one of the biggest myths in the Czech Republic, that just the official timelines for visa approvals are actually somehow real.
Again, so rude of them to assume that.
Yes. And maybe there are countries where they actually stick to it. I don't know.
Maybe, I think there are, yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
But I mean, this is also one of the things I like in the Czech Republic. If you know how to deal with these kind of situations, you can use it for your advantage. Because there are laws in the Czech Republic, but no one really has time to like control everything and check that you really are following the laws. So, of course, I'm not saying you should do something illegal. No, of course, the laws are there for a reason, but they might be a bit flexible, let's say. That sounds like I'm giving like some shady advice. That's not how I mean it, but I don't know how to explain it better. It's just like
there's a lot of like gray areas in the law, because the law is pretty young. We actually talked about it, I think, on one of the episodes already. The law is pretty young, and there's a lot of like gray areas that are open to interpretation in the law. And if you know how to use it, it can be used to your advantage, or if you don't, it will be used to your disadvantage.
Nope. But also, it's still kind of depends. If you know someone at the authority you need to go to, they will not do anything illegal for you, but they can maybe like process your application faster. You know, if they know you and like they know that you're a good citizen and stuff like that, you like each other. So it's just not like in some other countries where like you cross the road on the red light and you get like a jail time. on the other hand, it's not the way that's like you can bribe everyone in the Czech Republic. So it's somehow a balance between that, which is, I kind of like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a few questions from our Instagram? Actually, guys, if you don't follow our Instagram, we also have Instagram and TikTok, and depends on what kind of content you're after.
If you're a ferret, please
go to Jan's OnlyFans.
I'll share the link. Only ferrets.
Only ferrets.
Let's see that. Anyway, yeah, I would do like 2. We've done already the one about renting.
Yeah, we had like 10. So which ones did you like the most?
I like the one about Czech post office lady. So number 3.
I thought everyone spoke English in Prague. Why did the post office lady scream at me? Well, we talked about it. We talked about the English. Maybe that's when you need Czech to integrate to the Czech post.
Czech post. And most of the other like governmental offices as well. Like the Ministry of the Interior is actually one of the best, I would say, because they work with foreigners, but that's not necessarily it. They've been working with foreigners the whole time we've been doing this, and like in the beginning, no one spoke English there. Now it's getting better, and it's, in my opinion, mainly because young people work there. Often, not everyone, but a lot of young people, and they usually like speak English because they had to learn it in schools. But in places like social security and tax offices, often there are people there for 20 years, 30 years. And they were either taught Russian in school or like English, but years ago. So often they don't speak English. And sometimes it's just the Czech part that they're just angry all the time. So they want to make it complicated for you as well. Sometimes maybe they might be embarrassed that they don't speak English, they cannot help you. They would like to help you, but they don't understand you, so they get like embarrassed and angry. Sometimes it can be something else, but dealing with Czech offices, like public authorities, might be difficult without knowing Czech. Yeah. And number 6 is my favorite, probably.
If I marry a Czech and live here for 5 years, do I get a cut? You get punched in the face, like that's what you get. You get a big fat slap.
Okay, I have nothing else to add.
Okay, thank you so
much. The last one is also nice.
How long does it really take to feel at home in Prague? Be honest. It's probably a question to like you. I mean, it's not really a question towards you because it is your home. You were born in Czech Republic.
Yes.
So
that's not a question for me, or it is a question for me?
I don't think it is a question for you. Like,
of course, I'm a white male. I have an opinion about that.
And you have a podcast. Hello. You have an opinion and you're not afraid to share it.
Yeah, of course.
May we all have confidence of a mediocre white man, okay? Not that I call
Did you just call me a mediocre white man? I'm above that. So
I just want people to see how you look when you're angry. So
yeah. So that's good job today. Now, okay. My opinion about this is that kind of feeling at home comes with a stability. Of course, there are plenty of different parts or different things that play a role in this. But in my opinion, it starts happening when you get kind of a longer immigration status here. So definitely not during your first visa validity, because there is a lot you need to adjust to. You just found a new place, you started a new job, and then within a year you have to apply for the extension or a residence permit. So it's like a lot of running around, a lot of kind of stress, I would say. So I don't think you can really start settling down there. But once you get to the next step, once you get the 2 years residence permit, you know that for the next 2 years you are safe. You can actually start making some plans. Also usually means that you've already integrated a bit. So you have, my favorite word today, that you have some friends here, you have colleagues, you go out. So you actually might start feeling more like home, also gives you a bit more
Today's
stability.
our podcast, our episode, are integration courses from the Minister of Interior.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree with you. I feel like from
How
now.
dare you, woman?
Wow.
This is all a joke for me.
Stop.
Okay.
Anyway, it was for my mediocre white man.
We're even now.
No. So, what I wanted to say is more like from my probably psychological perspective, because for my listeners and my people who are watching, I also have a psychology degree. So what I think and what I found on myself and a lot of people who integrated is that if you didn't feel at home at your home, and you only felt at home because of the people you were among. So like your family and your friends and people you grew up with and you went to the kindergarten, and to school with. And that's why you feel like home at your home. And the moment when you leave, you will never feel at home. You never will, because you didn't have that feeling inside of you to start with. But for example, for me, the moment I came here, I felt like home. And I also spent some time living abroad outside the Czech Republic, and I felt like home there. Like for me, like the feeling of being home was not about the people who I was among. It was not about the friends or something. It was just a feeling inside of me. So I know if I move somewhere else, I will feel at home there. I think there's a phrase is like, at home is where my head is, and that's absolutely my opinion. So if you didn't feel like at home when you were home, and you want to like fill this gap by moving somewhere, you will not get that feeling. The moment when you start taking care of yourself and you start to analyze and start feeling safe around yourself, that's when you will feel like home anywhere you go.
That was too deep for me today.
And that's a wrap. On this positive note, we're going to finish our podcast. Please send your comments and your questions. You can always comment. You can give a like and share the podcast in any platforms. It will help us a lot. We also would like to hear your opinion and your questions and your experience with the Czech Republic and how you moved here and what myth you had to debunk yourself and what you thought Czech Republic is going to be like and what it is really. For all of that, we would love to hear.
Yeah, and one of the future podcasts will be about the cultural differences, maybe between like the Czech Republic and other countries, and the habits and all the different things that you didn't expect. So let us know about those as well, because that's connected to the topic we covered today as well. So we'll be happy to hear from you, and we'll be happy to incorporate it into the next podcast.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jan. And we will see each other on next episode.
Thank you, Daria.
Bye.
Bye.